everyone, I'm Sarah of Rich Textures Crochet and welcome. Today we're going to learn how to crochet the Bay Neck Warmer, and this is week 3 of the 2025 Wonderful Hats Crochet Along, and this is the matching cowl. So here on my channel you will already find the Bay Beanie, which features some of the texture that you will see throughout this cowl. This neck warmer is worked in the round and it's worked from the bottom up. It's a simple design and size to fit an adult. It measures approximately 11.5 inches laid flat by 7.5 inches tall. You're going to need a 5mm or an H8 crochet hook. This is a birchwood hook by Rowan. You're also going to want to have about 218 yards of a worsted or medium weight yarn, and I'll be using the Heatherly yarn by Knitpicks and WeCrochet. You may also wish to head down in the description, and there you will find a direct link to the free written instructions for the Bay Neck Warmer, which can be found on richtexturescrochet.com. The instructions are written out there for you with the option of purchasing an ad-free PDF. Also down in the description you'll find direct links to my free books, one of which is called Barn Quilt Blankets, a collection of 5 beautiful blanket crochet patterns, as well as my intermediate crochet stitches book. Both are available in paperback format on Amazon, so you'll want to check those out. So thank you so much for joining me. While you're here, I invite you to subscribe, take a look around, and definitely check out the matching beanie pattern. But let's grab our hooks and yarn and get started. Now our pattern today is worked in rounds, and we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. To begin, you're going to start by making a slip knot. You're then going to work a foundation chain, and your foundation chain today is going to be 90 chains. If you wish to change or adjust the length of the neck warmer, then you're going to want to work an even number of chain stitches. Today for mine, I'm going to go ahead and chain 90. Once you have chained 90 chains, being careful not to twist that chain, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. Chain 1, and now for round 1, you're going to work a half double crochet into that same stitch as joining, and then half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. At the end of this round and every round, you're going to have a total of 90 stitches. So half double crochet into that same stitch as joining, and then into each stitch all the way around. At the end of round 1, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch and chain 1. Now for round 2, we're going to work in the third loop all the way around. To find your third loop, you're going to look at the top of your stitch. You have a front loop and your back loop. Then if you turn your work so you can see the back, just under along that back loop, you will see another loop running alongside it. This loop running under the back loop is your third loop. So for this round, we're going to insert our hook into that third loop only of the same stitches joining and work 1 single crochet. You're going to repeat this all the way around in the third loop only of the next stitch, single crochet, and repeat in each stitch. As you're working, you're going to see that by working in the third loop, it's going to push the top of your stitch forward and create a little ridge of texture. At the end of round 2, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch, chain 1, and this time we're going to turn our work. Now for round 3, we're going to work a single crochet into our first stitch. You're then going to work a bobble stitch into the next stitch. To work your bobble stitch, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. You're going to repeat that 3 times into the same stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Then there's twice and 3 times. You're going to have a total of 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 5 loops. That is your bobble stitch. You're then going to work a single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. When you work these single crochets, it's going to cause your bobble stitch to pop out through to the front side. You're then going to repeat that all the way around. Bobble stitch into your next stitch, followed by a single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Repeat this all the way around until you have 2 stitches remaining. When you come all the way around at the end of round 3 and have 2 stitches remaining, you're going to finish off by working a bobble stitch into the next stitch, and then 1 more single crochet stitch before joining with a slip stitch into the top of the first stitch. Chain 1 and once again turn your work. Now for round 4, work 1 half double crochet into the same stitches joining and half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. At the end of this round, you'll continue to have a total of 90 stitches. At the end of round 4, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. Chain 1, continue working in the same direction and working in the 3rd loop all the way around. You're going to work in a single crochet in that first stitch and then into each stitch all the way around. You may wish to keep these single crochet stitches fairly loose because we are going to be working into the posts of them a couple rounds from now. So for now, you just want to keep them nice and loose as you're working. At the end of round 5, join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch and chain 1. For round 6, continue working in the same direction and you're going to work a single crochet into the same stitches joining, chain 1, skip the next stitch and single crochet into your next. You're going to repeat this all the way around. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and single crochet into the next, all the way around. At the end of round 6, you're going to finish off with a chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. Chain 1, and now for round 7 we're going to single crochet into the same stitches joining. You're then going to work a waistcoat stitch into the next stitch 2 rows below. You'll be working over top of the chain 1 stitch, and to work your waistcoat stitch into the post of the stitch 2 rounds below, you're going to insert your hook. So when you look at your stitch, you kind of have 2 vertical bars coming down here in the single crochet. You're going to insert your hook right between those 2 vertical bars, and in this first round it can be a little bit tricky. The other rounds after this are much easier. Then yarn over, drop your loop, and complete your single crochet stitch. Single crochet into your next stitch, and then work a waistcoat stitch through the post of the next stitch that's 2 rounds below. Single crochet into the next, and waistcoat stitch into the next 2 rounds below. You're going to repeat this all the way around. At the end of round 7, you'll have finished off with a waistcoat stitch. You're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. Chain 1. Now for rounds 8 through to 29, you're going to repeat rounds 6 and 7 for a total of 11 times. So your round 6 began with a single crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and single crochet into your next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, followed by your single crochet and waistcoat stitch round. You're going to repeat rounds 6 and 7 for a total of 11 times. That will bring you through to the end of round 29, and you can meet me back here. At the end of round 29, this is what your work is going to look like from the beginning. We're now going to finish off our cowl by working a similar pattern to how we started our neck warmer. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and work a half double crochet into the same stitches joining, and then half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. At the end of round 30, you're going to join with a slip stitch in the top of the first stitch, chain 1, do not turn your work, and for round 31, working in the third loop all the way around, work a single crochet into the same stitches joining, and then single crochet into each stitch all the way around. When you come back to your first stitch, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the top. For round 32, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Work 1 single crochet into the first stitch, then work a bobble stitch into the next. Work 1 single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. We're going to repeat this all the way around. Work 1 bobble stitch into the next stitch, followed by 1 single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Repeat this all the way around until you have 2 stitches remaining. At the end of round 32, when you have 2 stitches remaining, you're going to finish off the round by working 1 bobble stitch in the next stitch, followed by 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Join with a slip stitch into the top, chain 1, and turn your work. You should now have the right side of your work facing. You're going to begin round 33 by working a half double crochet into that first stitch, and then half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. At the end of round 33, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch and chain 1. Continue working in the same direction. We have one final round in our bay neck warmer. What we're going to do is we're going to work in the 3rd loop all the way around and simply work 1 round of single crochet stitches. So single crochet in the 3rd loop of that same stitch is joining, and then single crochet in the 3rd loop of each stitch all the way around. When you come to your first stitch, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the top. And finally, at the end of round 34, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch, and you can then go ahead and fasten off. You're then going to take your yarn needle and you're going to tuck in any ends that might still be showing around your neck warmer. Once you've tucked in all your ends, you can go ahead and trim off any tails. And then go ahead and enjoy your bay neck warmer. That's all there is to working our neck warmer today. Go ahead and check out the matching hat pattern. You'll find it here on my channel under the Wonderful Hats Crochet Along playlist. And I look forward to seeing you next week for our final week in the 2025 event. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Until then, happy crocheting. Bye.